Then starts the second challenge, and that is how you put the stone now. Because the stone is the actual weight on this foundation, and that has to be done after great deal of not just care, but after great deal of scientific examination on what is the load factor which can come on this. And that load factor was all estimated through simulation exercises by IIT Chennai and also by Central Building Research Institute Roorkee. And what they did, they worked for a simulation of earthquake also. So all kinds of calamities which can challenge the stability of the structure. And once that was done there in the lab, they came to the conclusion that what are the parameters necessary for the stone to be put up. What strength should be provided at the arms of the stone in order to withstand the pressure and also to make it more resilient, that if there is any kind of tremor, shake, then they are able to withstand it. Often a challenge is posed to us, and in fact we have this young man who, people of his age often ask the question, who was Rama? How do you say that he was born here in this building? What is this Ayodhya? Who was Dasarath? So in order to make them believe that we have a genuine civilization, we have a very genuine history of 5,000 years back when Ram was born, we decided that the one way is to show the salient features of Ram, and that is why this Ram Katha was thought of. So the lower plinth will have the Ram Katha. Another milestone, we have started working. This milestone may not be achieved by December 31,
I was going to ask.
but it will get completed before December 2024. To be exact, June 2024, we will have the entire mural. The work is going on. The work involves first the artwork, which is being done by a very famous artist, Vasudeva Kamath. What was he given? He was given a shlok from Valmiki Ramayana. That's all. Now on that shlok, he has to imagine how the event is to be depicted. So he then makes the art. That art is then given to the sculptor. He first does the clay work of that art. Then he makes, once the clay work is approved by Vasudeva Kamath, then the fiber work is done, and finally the carving on the stone, which is the final stone, Bansi Paharpur stone, on which the Ram Katha will come. The most challenging part, which engages my every day it is on an average there are 10 mails which I have to resolve, and that is on the difference of opinion.
What kind of differences?
Starting with the foundation, when the first difference was, should it be based on pile foundation or it should be based on excavating the soil, refilling the engineered soil,
To make a raft.
and then that engineered soil then becomes like a stone in 28 days. So there were two views. After all the high-rise constructions all over the world that's being made on pile foundation. So everyone wondered, what's so special? Why can't we make it on pile foundation? But after a great deal of debate within the trust and with these experts, we opted for the foundation where 12 to 15 meter was dug out and once it was dug out, then it was filled. So you can imagine the opinion. How that opinion got resolved is interesting. Since there were two views, so we formed a committee of the ex-directors of IIT. And ex-IIT director Delhi, Dr. Rao, who is in Hyderabad, he was requested to head that committee. It comprised of all the 5 representatives from the IITs, Larsen Toubro, Tata Consultant Engineers, and 1 or 2 more experts. Finally, this committee recommended that if you go for refill, it will take time, no doubt, but maybe it is safer option. We opted for that.
All right.
So this is the kind of difference. I mean, from that stage, you can come to a different opinion. What should be the load of power? What should be the order on DG sets as emergency standby if the load of power is X or Y? Because it has got cost implications. There is huge difference of opinion about certain constructions which are recommended in, let's say, Vastu, but which became a challenge to the safety of devotee. We cannot create here just because the Vastu wanted those umras all over. We could not create that because it would have led to stampede. If anyone fell on that height, it would have been very serious.
Correct.
So here again, there was a difference of opinion, and the difference of opinion went to the extent where my architect said, I will not agree with you unless you give it in writing. So I had to give it in writing that you will not put Umrah there. And then finally the Umrah was removed in the design and the construction went on. From A to Z,
Everything will be.
if there is difference of opinion, then also it has to come. And even if they agree, then also the verification has to come. They all agreed that we must buy DG sets for 4000 kVA. But actually, okay, I accommodated, but I know for certain it is not going to be required. I have respected the views because it was unanimous, but I know that it will not be more than one DG set of 750 kVA and one of 500. It will never be required. But then, okay, if you are told suddenly that look, if there is a power failure in a temple like this, you know the consequences. No, I could not take that
I get
burden
it.
on my shoulders.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
True.
So sometimes you are told, if you don't do this, these are the consequences.
Yeah.
There is a very good number of these people who are carving the treasurer, who is very, very eminent Kathavachak, Swami Govind Dev Giriji of Pune. And he contributed along with Yatindra Mishra, who is here in Ayodhya. They contributed to the selection of those pictures. Those pictures now again will have to be converted into clay and fiber and finally in bronze. So that is the story. The selection of the murti for which the work is going on here, there are 3 sculptors who are making Lord Ram. They have been given all the descriptions. What will be the height, it will be standing. What will be the age, what is the kind of things that he will be showing in the hand, just as if it's a play toy, like, the arrow or dhanush. And then once these 3 who are doing work here in Ayodhya only at some place, one will be selected by the group of trustees, that will be installed here. The prayer and the installation ceremony would start from 14th of January 2024, and then on the date we have invited Honorable Prime Minister. We yet to hear from him.
14th January.
14th is the start of the prayer. After that, until going up to 24th, any day that he decides, we will do the final Pran Pratishtha, when the Lord will show up here. And from the next day, the devotees will start coming and have darshan. And just in front of Lord, the present Bhagwan, who is there in the temporary temple, they will be brought with all the honor and placed there.
Ram Lalla.
Yeah, Ram Lalla. So you will have a standing Ram Lalla, you will have Ram Lalla which was there, which suddenly people believe appeared, and that in fact, as you all know, in Supreme Court, that Ram Lalla has been recognized as petitioner in the judgment.
Correct.
We are going to barricade. Firstly, of course, by December, our expectation is that there will be roof like this. There will be dome which will be completed.
That will be completed.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is only one, the Shikhar point, where the opening is, because the Shikhar goes on the second floor.
Yeah.
So that is where we will draw steel structure to provide safety to the devotees. So the devotees, a line will be drawn, 2 rows from this side, 2 rows on this side, reach 25 feet distance from the god, have a darshan and then move down.
You also have a time of how much they will be allowed to stand there?
It is not a question of our making any such calculation. It is more the faith of devotees. Our expectation is from next day onwards, about 1,25,000 people will come. If 1,25,000 people come and we have the darshan open for 12 hours, he gets about 25 seconds.
আমাদের ভিডিও ভালো লাগলে লাইক এবং শেয়ার করুন। কমেন্ট সেকশনে গিয়ে জানান আপনাদের মতামত। আরও ভিডিও পেতে আমাদের চ্যানেল সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং প্রতি মুহূর্তে খবরের আপডেট পেতে প্রেস করুন বেল আইকন।